Praveen sir, can you hear me? Praveen sir? Can you hear me? Hello everyone, good evening, and I welcome you all in this virtual event briefing session. So, as we can see, there are more than 150 participants. We shall start the briefing session today. So this is the most awaited session with the teams because in the current situation, we discussed some time back about the future of FE Cycle 2020, and it was not confirmed whether we will conduct the event or not. So if you remember, we had a meeting also with all the teams, and everyone shared their views about conducting the event. So we have discussed internally, and we also discussed with the SAE and IS governing body a lot about the future of FE Cycle 2020. So some decisions have been given by the governing board of SAE Northern India section, and here I am available today to share the outcomes and how we are going to do this season now. So let me once welcome you all once again here in this briefing session. So this is the first session of the rulebook briefing session series. Today we will brief about the virtual event, and then after that tomorrow and next Saturday and Sunday we will have the briefing about the rulebooks workshop. So here, let me first of all thank KIET group of institutions who have supported us with the infrastructure of this Microsoft Teams, and we are happy to inform you that KIET is the workshop partner for this series. So in this session, we will share about like what happened in the background, then FE Cycle going virtual this season, then how the evaluation will take place, scoring pattern, evaluation parameter, documentation package, and other procedures, awards, and how the registration will take place for this virtual format, the updates on the deadlines, and what support from the organizing committee we will provide. So as I said, like we had a meeting on 13th May with all the teams because FE Cycle 2020 is also affected by COVID-19, and we were informed that the teams could not be completed. The formation of teams was not complete due to the closing of institutes, and team meetings are also not happening. So if any team has completed the formation but they are not able to complete the designing work and any planning, so there is uncertainty like when the institutes will open, when the things will go normal, and also the market is not opening fully. Now some markets are open, but still logistics are not in the good condition. If something has started, they are charging very high amount, and also there is some ambiguity in the guidelines of the government on the large gathering. You know that when FE Cycle happens, at least 1,000 of people are there. Most of them are students, and some are there from organizing committee side and judges from different industry, volunteers, and many other supporting staff or infrastructure. So the large gathering will anyways be not possible, and we are still not clear whether government will allow in couple of months or 3, 4, or maybe in next 6 months also, what will be the guidelines from the government. So this was a big factor in uncertainty of FE Cycle 2020. And we also understood from all of you like how we should go for the competition organizing this time. So on this meeting, you all shared that event should not be cancelled, and event may be shifted to February 2021. So keeping everything in view, we prepared a proposal and shared with the governing body of SAE Northern India sections. So the guidance was received from governing body that as the things are uncertain, so we should not fix anything as of now on the physical event, and we should convert the FSICLE 2020 in the virtual event. But physical event has its own advantage, and many new learning avenues are there. So we didn't want to cancel it in the physical form. So still there is a proposal that once we have the virtual event, then after that in mid of October, we will discuss about the physical format of the competition as we used to have it earlier in the previous seasons. So after that only we will take any call, and then only the teams would start anything related to the physical activities like fabrication or the investment part. So once again, I would like to appeal here on this forum that as we are not assuring you anything about the physical event as of now, we are still hopeful, but nothing is confirmed. So please do not make any major investment in your project. If somebody is planning to procure materials and all, please keep it on hold. We will tell you once the virtual event is over, once we have clear guidelines whether we can conduct the event or not. Then only you please proceed for anything related to the physical formation of physical manufacturing of the vehicle. Still, we have come up with very new idea about conducting the things in a virtual format. So here is the idea how FSICLE 2020 will be conducted. First of all, the fees will be reduced, and still there will be some cash prizes in different categories and overall winner category. And evaluation will be done by the mentors who have been already allocated to all the teams, and there will be some industry panel also who will evaluate the teams. So the evaluation level will remain as before, as it was earlier. So you will not feel that the evaluation level has gone lower, because we have industry experts with us. We will appoint them for the evaluation of your hard work, which you have already done, and digital certificates will be issued to all the team members. And it's not the end of challenge, as we are not sure about the physical event, but we are anyways going to have it in the virtual mode. You have to do all kind of design work, CAD, CAE related work, all the analysis, subsystem design. So the majority of the excitement is still there. I assure that you will not feel that the challenges are not there in virtual mode, and still there are a lot of learning opportunities for all the participants, which we will render in the new virtual format. And here one special thing is there. It's not only the virtual will not have only the evaluation at the end of the season, but the regular monitoring, regular supervision, regular support from the organizing committee side in terms of the mentor support. Many other technical documentation will be there. So mentors will be there to support you, as well as also evaluate your performance in some or the other way. We will discuss it about later during this session, and also the technical evaluation and feedback will be there for sure by the industrial experts. So here is the most important slide, the overview of the evaluation procedure. Basically, evaluation will take place in 4 stages. First is the review by your team mentors, which will have the 20% weightage. It's a big amount of score, 20% weightage in the overall score of virtual round. And they will evaluate your first of all project plan. Now you have to revise your project plan according to the format which we are going to discuss here today, and then design compliance with the rule book. So it is same as The technical inspection was done earlier in the physical event. That used to be the first step of the competition when you present your vehicle to the technical inspection panel. So similarly, the design compliance will be checked as per the rule book. We will discuss how it will happen. Then cross mentor review will be there. So the other mentor who is mentoring the other team will be evaluating your DVP and TFMEA. This is the new format, new item in this virtual evaluation. And then the final virtual evaluation by the judges of industry panel will be there, which will have the 50% weightage. And there we will have a design review at subsystem level and the vehicle level as well. And most important thing is the CAD CAE work. CAD work include your structural interface, the complete CAD model, and different type of animation of working of the CAD model. Then CAE includes your structural strength analysis, different type of impact analysis, static loading, torsional rigidity, bending of frame, and many other CAE evaluation of the hard points of the frame. Then there will be the project cost overview and the business plan evaluation. So these three items will score 50% weightage. And then the organizing committee will review your overall project progress and your readiness for the physical event, and then it will have 10% weightage. So now you can see the scoring pattern, how the scores will be there. Just a moment. Sorry, I think the slides are not changing, so let me work out on that. Twin sir, if you're there, can you confirm if the slide is changing now?
Yes, Jitendra is changing.
Okay. I'll play the slides for 1 minute because I think people have not seen it, so they can have a look on it. So this is the evaluation procedure and steps which I explained a few minutes back, and the weightage of each evaluation step. Sorry for the inconvenience. If somebody has any question in this slide, you can post it through the Q&A session. So I will answer these queries and then only move forward.
Jiten, there was one query from the participant side regarding fees, and I have published it as well, that they have submitted the fees for phase one, and if the fees is going to be reduced, what will happen? They will get a refund from the organizing committee side or what?
Cover it up in the slide. Okay, so let's move forward. And this is the scoring pattern. The mentor review, there are two items, project plan and design compliance with the rule book. Each of them is having 80 marks, total making 160. Then the cross mentor review, which will have a DVP and DFMEA as a part of it, 80 marks each, making total 160. Then the final virtual evaluation by the industry experts is subsystem design, CAT CAE, project cost and business plan. Out of which subsystem design is having 100 marks, CAT CAE having 150 marks, and same for project cost and business plan. That too has 150, so now making 400. And the final presentation evaluation by the organizing committee is having 80 marks, which is the 10% of total. So this makes the grand total of 800. So the teams scoring maximum marks in the 800 will be given, will be declared the winner of the Cephi Cycle Virtual 2020. So let's discuss about the scoring parameters so that you can easily understand and plan out your further project activities according to that. So the evaluation parameters for each set of evaluation have been explained here. Project plan, which is having 80 marks, will be evaluated on the basis of your Activity breakdown in the project plan, the suitability of the milestones. So the activity which you have taken for example, n number of days. So mentors will check whether it is okay for that particular duration or not, or either you are underestimating or overestimating the activity duration. So this will be similar thing will be the evaluation uh, basis for that. Then manpower planning, the distribution of your team members into each and every activities. Then the sub activity breakdown for each major activity. So there are four parameters, out of which every parameter will have 20 marks for you. So the project plan evaluation will be completed in that way. The project plan will be same as we have released earlier in the documentation package. So there will be some documents which will be used as it is, some new documents will be introduced, and some formats will be revised from the previous formats. So in order to avoid any confusion among the team members, we will finally release another package for this virtual round. So you need not to worry which format to pick, which format not to pick. So now when just wait for 1 more week, we will have the explanation of documents in the last session of this series. So there we will explain how to use the different documents and which format to use for which kind of preparation. So that will be made available to you in a all new complete package. So then let's move to the design compliance evaluation. It will have the evaluation on the basis of the dimensional accuracy of the model, the detailing of the CAD model, like you have to place each and every component as you put in your physical prototype. So these should be available in the CAD model as well. So that evaluation will be done on the basis of your CAD package. We will ask you to submit the complete package of your CAD, the CAD model which you build in your software, the CAD assembly at vehicle level and subsystem level, their accuracy, their interfacing will be checked, and we will also ask you to submit some animation of the working of model. So in this section, you have to submit a CAD report, the CAD package. Package means the software file. And then a virtual technical inspection sheet will be introduced to check the compliance of your virtual CAD model on the basis of rulebook parameters. So the team which makes the accurate model and it is in very detailed mode, parts are completely shown over there, the interfacing is done properly, they will be scoring the best marks in this evaluation round. So 20 marks for each 4 parameters will give you maximum 80 marks under this section. So let me explain it thoroughly, all the parameters, then we will have Q&A session. So I have mentioned the slide number at the bottom of each slide on the bottom right corner. So whenever you have any queries specific to any slide, please mention the slide number. Okay, let's move to the scoring parameters of next phase, which is the cross mentoring. So the mentors will review your design validation plan. In this, activity breakup, the test planning at vehicle level, test planning at component level, and you have to mention the resources required for each kind of validation test and their availability. So on the basis of that, there will be 20 marks for each parameter, making total 80 marks. It will be done on the basis of design validation plan. The mentors will go through your document and they will contact you, they will discuss with you and ask you about this document if they have any query. So according to that, the scoring will be given. So this is applicable for all evaluation sections.
So the existing design validation plan will be used. There will not be any change. And there is a new format, which is DFMEA, which is design failure mode and effect analysis. I hope many of you are aware about it. This is also a part of validation activity, but we were not having it in our documentation requirement and evaluation parameters as of now, but in the virtual format we have introduced it. So this will be evaluated on the basis of scope of analysis, which we have included under this DFMEA report, and identification of different failure modes, the calculation of RPN, which is the risk priority number, and then the control of these failures through design and other prevention techniques. So we will give you a format for it. You need not to choose anything from other sources. The controlled format will be released to you by a technical committee in coming days. So DFMEA report will be evaluated by mentors, and then similar procedure will be followed. Like they will go through it, they will discuss with you and have a question and answer session about it. So this will also have 20 marks for each 4 parameters, having 80 marks in total. Then let's move to the next section, which is evaluation by industry panel, which will have the subsystem design. Subsystem means the systems of the vehicle, which is steering, suspension, brakes, wheel and tires, and drivetrain. The conventional category teams will be evaluated on these 5 parameters, but as we have a new item in the advanced format, which is the advanced technology. So advanced technology teams have to submit their technology report, and their 100 marks will cover all these subsystems as well as the advanced technology sections. So under the advanced technology section in 2020 season, we have included 3 items. First is energy regeneration system or solar panel, which is actually for the battery charging through non-conventional resource. Second item is the infotainment. There are 3 options. You have to implement one of them. And third item is ADAS, Advanced Driver Assistance System. So in the ADAS section, we have 6 options given to you in the rule book. Out of that, you have to use any 2 of them. So that will be the part of this subsystem design evaluation. So 20 marks for 5 parameters each will give you 100 marks. Then comes the CAE evaluation, which is the most important thing here. Out of CAE evaluation, we have introduced some new evaluations. In the existing CAT-CAE report, we asked only for frontal impact, side impact, and rollover. But now we will also ask you to analyze the torsional rigidity of your frame, the bending load cases, and also the analysis of hard points. So hard points are the points which are critical for seat, the system, subsystem mounting, like seats, battery and motor, suspension itself. So under the static and dynamic conditions, there are different type of loads acting on these points, and the stability or the strength of these points should be evaluated. So this will give you 25 marks for each 6 parameter. So 3 are given here. 3 are the impacts, so frontal impact, side impact, and rollover, and 3 are torsional rigidity, bending load case, and hard point analysis. So this will give you 150 marks. For that, you have to submit the CAE report and the CAE project files. Means project file means again the same thing. The software files, the simulation which you have already run, the report on the software which have been generated. You have to submit those files also, so that we can also cross check what kind of boundary condition or the material properties or whatever parameters you use for the CAE analysis whether they have been used correctly or not. So that evaluation will be done through the project files and the CAE report. Then comes the business plan and cost report evaluation. This is combined into one section, and the cost report was not the part of advanced category, but this time we have combined it, and this is applicable for conventional and advanced both. So under the business plan, you will have evaluation of USP, your return of investment, break-even analysis, the plant layout, and the sales strategies, before and after sales strategies. So these 4 parameters are related to the business plan, and then 2 more parameters for cost, bill of material, and the cost estimation. So this will be validated through the cost report. All teams, whether they are in the conventional category or advanced category, they have to use it and prepare it and submit in the documentation package. So 25 marks for 6 parameters will give you 150 marks. And one important thing to take care here is, as the cost report was asked after you have completed the physical prototype building, but this time we are not talking about anything in the physical form. So the cost has to be prepared according to the virtual CAD model itself. But in place of the actual invoices, you have to submit the quotations or the estimate of the each and every component which you are using, so that the judges can correlate it with some solid reference that you have taken the cost of, let's say, 1000 for some part, then it is actually for 1000 rupees. You are not overestimating or underestimating the cost of any component. So you have to submit a lot of supporting documents for it through the quotations received on mail or through open sources. So this will be made clear into the guidelines of the cost report again. Then there will be a final review by organizing committee for 80 marks of your score. So on the basis of the interaction with mentors, they will submit a feedback of your team, whether the interaction was done in a good manner or not so good manner, or whether they are satisfied with your communications or not. So on the basis of that, there will be some rating and the scores will be given. And also the report submission timings will give you some score for sure. So some submission timelines or the deadlines should be properly taken care, because if you miss the deadline, you can lose some marks. So I don't think anybody will like to lose marks for delay in report submission. So please take care of the deadlines and submit your reports on time, so that you can score full marks under this section. And there will be 2 more parameters which are actually very important, as we are saying that we will check the possibility of physical event in mid of October, by mid of October. So most probably the physical event can be conducted by end of February, if the go ahead and the permissions are granted by the government and the local administration, and everything goes normal in the country, like logistics and traveling modes like railways, flights and buses. So with the surety of all these factors, if the event is conducted, then we would like to have an assessment on the readiness of your team, whether you can actually fabricate the vehicle or not. So that depends upon 2 parameters. First of all is the funding, which is very, very important for any project. So all the cost which you have estimated for a project, including the registration fees, your traveling, and your vehicle building and any other overheads. So these 4-5 expenses should be covered in your project estimation, and then you have to keep your funding ready by the self-funding or by the college funding, by any other seed support, or through the industry sponsors. So we would like to hear from you about your readiness on the funding part, as well as the readiness in terms of the facility. So we used to ask for the workshop access permission if it is granted by the college or not. So one part will be the workshop access permission, whether the college is ready to allow you fabrication in the premises, and also if you have all the equipment, tools, machines available with you in house. So all these facilities should be ready, and another important factor is you should have the assessment of all your supplies, because if we announce the physical event, we will have very short duration remaining for the vehicle fabrication. So the team which is ready during the virtual finals, they will have more advantage. They can build the vehicle on time, and they will be surely given priority for participation in the physical event. So you must present the readiness of the material and whatever items you want to procure from the market for vehicle building. Whether everything is ready, your suppliers are ready to support you with the supplies. So that report you have to submit. So under this section, which is mentioned here as final OC review, we will check everything as I mentioned here. So these 20 marks for each of the 4 parameters will give you 80 marks of that. And in this way, we will complete the assessment out of total 800 marks. So I hope you have properly understood your evaluation procedure for virtual FE cycle 2020, and all the evaluation parameters have been made clear here. So as we talked about different documentation packages, here is a list of documents which you need to submit in 2 packages. Package 1 will include your project plan, your CAD report, virtual TIC, the CAD package, which is the software file, design validation plan report, and DFMEA report. So the package 1 submission deadline is 15th July 2020. And we understood that majority of teams have completed or at least have done a lot of work into their CAD model building. So we hope this 1 month after the rulebook session is over, the 1 month will be enough for completing all these activities. So please take care of this deadline. Next is the package 2. So package 2 will be having design report, CAE report, CAE files of the software, the business plan document, cost report, along with all the supporting documents like quotations and the supplier details, everything. And then advanced technology report only for advanced category teams, whether it is advanced hybrid or advanced electric, and then the overall project presentation. So the package 2 deadline is 10th September 2020. So almost you can say 2 months after the package 1 submission, you will have enough time to work out on that part, CAE, your business plan, your subsystem design, all that. So I hope it is comfortable for you guys. Here there is one clarity, like we would be going to split the CAD report and CAE report into 2 different sections. So CAD report will have only the CAD details. CAE report in the package 2 will have only CAE analysis related things. So the CAD CAE report, which used to be the 1 document, now it is split into 2 documents, which will be asked in 2 different packages, package 1 and package 2 respectively. Okay. Now, please carefully understand what will be the procedure for evaluation in this virtual round, because this is very, very important for you. First of all, the documents should be submitted by teams as per the package guidelines, which I mentioned just now. You have to submit all your document in a one package, one file for package 1, one file for package 2. So as per the deadlines, you have to submit your documents to epicycle.reports@icat.in. This ID remains same. So please do not submit or upload the documents anywhere else. So the package 1 document review will be done by the mentors, as it was explained in the procedure earlier, and then they will be discussing with you through Q&A session in form of weekly meetings. I hope already the mentors are in touch with you every week. So telephonic discussion or WebEx related discussions will be there. So mentor review will give you some marks after they have reviewed the package. And then there will be documented package 2, which you need to submit by 10th September. So 11th September onward till 20th September, the package will be reviewed by different judges. The same judges will also evaluate your overall project during the final round, which is scheduled from 21st to 30th October. So 2 hours will be given to each team, and the judges will be asking you many questions on the basis of the documents which they are supposed to review in advance. So on the basis of that, you will answer to their queries, and according to that, the final scoring will be done. So just understand the timeline once again. First, you have to submit document package 1 on 15th July, latest by 15th July. Any delay will give you penalties, and any major delay can also disqualify you. So let me repeat once again. If you delay it by more than the allowed time limit, the participation may be cancelled also. So just take care of the deadlines. So after package 1 submission, mentors will be discussing with you time to time, and they will be also evaluating during that period your package 1. Then comes the package 2. You have to submit latest by 10th September, because the next day onward it will be given to the judges. So 11th to 20th September there will be the offline review by judges for your document package 2. Then after 20th, that means from 21st onward to 30th September, there will be the WebEx based presentation for the overall project. So the judges will review your presentations for subsystem design, your CAD CAE work, project cost, and business plan. So these 10 days will be done on the WebEx, on the online forum. So there will be a 2 hours time slot allotted to you, and you will be given a WebEx link. This can be a Cisco WebEx or through Microsoft Teams or maybe Google Meet. There can be any platform for it. So you have to use your computer and internet connection according to this platform. You can download the app on your mobile phone. So through that online review platform, online meeting platform, the judges will be also connected on the same forum. Your team will be also connected on the same forum. You have to share your screen, your presentation, and the judges will review these documents, and according to your package submission, they will ask you some questions. So you have to share your views according to their question in the same 2 hour session. So every team will get only 2 hours for this overall presentation, but I think it is more than enough. 2 hours is too much for anyone to understand your project work. So there will be 2 judges in each panel from the industry background. They will be experienced in their domain, and also having some of the experience of the event. So during that 10 days period from 21st September to 30th September, the final evaluation will take place, and after that we will have the scoring and result declaration on 2nd October. So after that we will decide about physical event. So any announcement regarding the physical event will be done later on. So on the basis of your evaluations, we will be having provision of for the awards according to this slide. So this is very, very important because you will be earning some awards out of your project work which you are going to do right now. So for each category and each variants, there are some awards. First of all, for the project plan, there is one award for each variant for 5,000 rupees. You can go through this table in detail. I will also be reading it for you. So for the best design compliance, there will be one award for each variant for 5,000 rupees. Best design validation plan and DFMEA, there will be 5,000 again. And for the CAE, we will have 3 level awards, first, second, and third level for conventional category. But for advanced category, there is only first and second for each variant, for hybrid as well as electric. And then for according to the best cost presentation and best business plan presentation, there will be one award under each variant. So I hope it is having a very good number of awards here and a very good amount in terms of prize money. So the subtotal for the category means each evaluation based awards. You can see the total amount is 42,500 for conventional hybrid and 37,500 for each of the advanced variant. And then we will declare the overall winner and first runner up for conventional category. But for advanced category, advanced hybrid and advanced electric, only overall winner will be there. So in this way, we will have the awards of 1,87,500 rupees for the virtual teams. The total number for the awards is 23. I hope many of you will be able to make one or two for it at least. So my advice will be, as the competition is tough, but the number of award is very, very high. So you can focus on one or two awards for each of your team. So you can target your performance according to that. All right. So now there is a registration process for this virtual round. So all teams who have registered online for FE Cycle 2020 through our online registration portal are by default eligible for this virtual category. So they need not to register again, but any new team, if they want to join it, they can join through the same portal. The registration deadline is extended till 20th June, and all the requirement related to the teams remain same. So now I will request all already registered teams that you please complete your registration process. Whatever changes you want to make, you can make into through your So if you want to change your category right now, but Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, God.
So any changes in your team structure can be done. I will show you the deadlines also in the next slide. So all formalities should be completed and new teams can register themselves by 20th June. And fees has been reduced to 5,000 for participation in the virtual round. And there was a question also from one of the participants that they have already submitted the fees. So some teams have submitted the fees for phase 1 as per the previous fees structure. So the fees was 35,000 total, which was asked in two phases. Phase 1 for 25,000 rupees, phase 2 for 10,000 rupees. But now as we are going virtual this time, so we will reduce that fees from 25,000 to 5,000. Let me repeat once again. The fees will be reduced to only 5,000. So the team who have already submitted 25,000 rupees will be refunded 20,000. That means the 5,000 will be kept there as a part of virtual event participation fees, and what whatever excess money they have paid to SANIS, whether it is 20,000, maybe more, so that will be surely just a moment. Sorry. So I was saying that whatever excess amount you have paid already, so except 5,000, whatever excess money is there will be refunded to you. We will separately perform all the documentation formalities for that. So that may take some time. So I hope it is clear on the fee submission part. And now there is one important notification that the fees has to be submitted only through online mode. And one important announcement is SANIS account details have changed. So the account details which you have received in the previous registration guidelines, that is changed now. So you have to submit the 5,000 rupees in the new account. The account details and all the guidelines related to the registration will be published shortly on the website. The previous guidelines have been removed and do not follow them. If you have already have that copy available with you, so only follow the new guidelines. Please make sure you submit the registration fees to the correct account. We will publish the account detail in a proper document in some time on the website. And here are the deadlines updates. Whatever deadlines were there as a part of registration procedure or the rule book, you can see against every deadline there the revised deadline. So I'm also reading through all the items here. Team registrations, any update in the team, any category change should be done by 20th June, scan form submission by 25th June, fees submission by 30th June. So please follow all these guidelines. So by 30th June, everybody has to submit the fees. Then only they will be considered eligible for participation in the FE Cycle 2020 virtual format. Motor procurement as the physical fabrication of a vehicle is not permitted. So motor procurement is not applicable as of now. Once we have anything related to the physical event, then we will announce the deadline for that also. If you are going to use the second year vehicle, that is also possible in the virtual format as well, but you have to submit your query on email by 20th June, and then document package 1, as I already said, 15th July, document package 2 by 10th September. And vehicle readiness, this is again not applicable as understood. College level assessment, this was planned for the verification of physical vehicle running condition from 29th August to 20th September, but this will not be done in that way, but we will be having weekly meeting by mentors, so they will be having your regular review on your progress. And SCE India membership, you have to take by 10th September 2020, and you have to submit that proof of that along with your membership number. Then the final evaluation will take place from 21st September to 30th October. So this deadline update will be also communicated to you separately through mail, website, or other communication channels. So for any query, you can write to us on fecycle.technical@sanis.org, which is the ID of the technical committee. And you can contact me or through any mentors or your lead mentors, or through any of the social media platform. The QR code and links are given in the slide at bottom, so you can follow those channels for regular updates or posting any query. So this is the end of this session from my side. Now I am open for all queries. So let me have a look at your queries posted in the Q&A section. Somebody has asked about DFMEA. So DFMEA, I explained it is design failure modes and effect analysis. So you have to assess what are the failure of your design, what are the probable failure. If you have designed something, in what way it can fail. So, and also you need to control that according to the failure method. You need to implement some changes in your design. You have to control that failure either by design or through some other changes in your product. So we will have a separate session by expert on DFMEA in this series as well. So I hope this is answered, and I will also request everyone to please read the literature available on open source on internet or in some books, so that you have the basic knowledge about DVP, DFMEA, and similar other terms used in FE cycle. So this is the regular part of industry practice. This is the industrial practice of during any product design. So it is very important method for identifying the failures. So please read it by yourself once again, and then we'll have a separate session on it. Okay, any other query?
Jitendra, there are few published queries. You can go to the published section.
Yes, I have moved to published section. So somebody asked, sir, if there is a marking to be done by our own mentors, will it be fair? So we will make sure that it is fair. It is same as you are studying in your college. Some teacher is teaching you some subject, and the same person evaluates you. So it is same method. So I don't think any kind of unfairness is involved there. But also, as an extra precaution, we will make sure that the guidelines are very clear, and we will also have a check on that the things should not go unfair. in this mentor evaluation part. Somebody asked as mentor is our team mentor, and then who is the cross mentor? So cross mentor can be anyone who is the having the level of mentor, but he's not the mentor of your team. So he can be the mentor of another team or a lead mentor. So he will be evaluating in the cross mentor section. The next question is, in case of mentors, will this facility serve its basis? Do you think that teams will be using their mentorship, sharing their problem and taking their guidance, as well as these will be in their mind while giving marks? Yes, I think this will serve its purpose, and that's why we have come up with that kind of solution. I'll tell you the background why we have introduced such method, because you are doing the hard work for 5-6 months, and then you get a chance of only a presentation. We have given enough time though for 2 hours, but it may happen that you have a lot of evaluation to be presented, lot of project work like business plan, cost, design, CAE, everything to be presented to a judge in a short duration of time. So there may be some chances that judges are not able to understand everything in that depth. So on the basis of few questions, they can evaluate your project work and your understanding with the project. So the team who is doing a lot of hard work throughout the season should also be given some benefit out of it. So mentors will be knowing who is doing the hard work throughout the season, and also through your documentation, your plans and everything, they will be evaluating you. So that's why the mentors scoring has been included in this evaluation procedure. The next question is, what type of files do we have to submit for ADAS? So we will share the documentation package for it. Everything will be clear there. What kind of document, what kind of files you have to submit under that section. Then next question is, how can take the attachment of bills is to be done. We haven't bought anything in a virtual event. We don't need any of things as we build our project, use material taken. Okay, I understood that the person, Mr. Anish Kumar Sharma, he wanted to ask if nothing is being manufactured, so there is no physical component available, so how the supporting documents like bills will be presented. So as I have already explained it, that you need to take the quotation or the estimate from your supplier. If I buy this thing in this quantity, what will be the price? So the same price will be considered as a cost of that part, because it is logical that you are not buying it, but we will take the estimate same as the bill. So that amount of estimate has to be taken care and considered for the cost report. The next question is, we are thinking of ordering material from another state, and as it takes time to reach us, so in case if the material doesn't reach us on time due to probable restriction due to the current situation, so will we be given enough time in that case for building our model for the physical epicycle competition? So this is the very important and critical question. Everybody understands that the markets and industrial markets especially are not fully operational as of now. Logistics are not working. So by taking care of everything, we will take a call in mid of October. Then only we will announce the physical event. So you have to align your resources according to that, who supplies to you in the best possible time. Once we announce the deadline for the physical event, it will be same for all. So it's better, my advice to every team is that you take care of the material which is available in your vicinity, uh, which you can buy and buy very easily, and it is available in your local market. It can reach to you in 1 or 2 days, so that your timelines are not hampered. Sir, how we are supposed to submit online form submission? I'm not clear about this query, which type of online form you are asking. If you are asking for the scanned form, which is the signed version of by the HOD and your faculty advisors, then you need to submit it by 25th June. If still the college is not opening, then you can get the approval on email, and then email copy can be attached along with the form. So I think this is the best way to submit your form if you're not able to get the signed copy. Next question is also same. Another question is would business plan and cost report evaluation will be done by same panel at same time? Yes, all the evaluations which I have shown you, let me go to that slide. Yes, this one. The design review, your CAD and CA related work, your project cost overview and business plan. You will get the opportunity to present all these items in the 2 hours duration. The slot for everything will be given to you in advance. So the same panel will be reviewing everything together at same time. Okay. Deadline for package 1 is little bit soon. Please extend it. I don't know why such requests are coming up, because we have already said that earlier, because team have already started working on the design, modeling and documentation work for package 1, which was supposed to be submitted on 30th June. We are already extending the date somehow with the new documentation package by 15th July. So I don't think it is going to extend now. So please follow the deadline which I have told you in this session today. In slide 15, scan form submission deadline is 25th June. We can get the signature of team. I have already answered. If you're not getting the sign of your faculty advisor and HOD, just get the approval on email with the hard copy, with the PDF copy of your form attached in your mail addressed to the faculty and HOD. Once they reply with the remarks approved, you can submit that to fecycle.teams@sanice.org. This deadline is not going to extend now. There is one query regarding the event dates. Virtual event date, it's 21st to 30th September. 21st to 30th September. We try to maintain the same deadline which was for the final event earlier. So somehow during that time only we are trying to conduct the virtual event, 21st September to 30th September. One query is there, how many members are allowed to give final presentation on WebEx. So all these guidelines will be made clear to you, because it is WebEx. So all the team members can join, but there will be some limitations on presenters at a time, because everybody cannot speak. So at a time only 1 or 2 people will be allowed to speak. So you can decide, because the same panel will evaluate everything. So if you have distribution in your team, like somebody is taking care of CAD, somebody of CAE, somebody for business plan or cost. So likewise, you can distribute your team in the group of two or three people in each group, so that during the presentation itself, they can switch to the presenter mode, and the one group after the other can present their respective documents. So in this way, you can effectively utilize your team, and the team members and faculty can be present there during the evaluation to understand the evaluation procedure and the feedback of judges also. So this is good that we are doing it on WebEx, and everyone can join that. So the detailed guideline will be shared later on. Let me go through other queries. Yeah, one query is there. Is it compulsory to participate in virtual round to participate in the physical event conducted? Yes, obviously. It is, there are not two events now. It is only one event. We are doing it in the first phase as a virtual event, and next phase is the physical one. So the teams who participate in the virtual event, they only will be allowed to participate in the final competition in the physical format. So it's not that the separate registrations will be there for physical event, and anyone can participate in that also. So you must attend the virtual round, then only you will be qualified for the next phase. I hope I have answered all the queries. There is no more queries pending in this query section. Yes, I have got some more. How do we present the electronics or innovation report, or is it dropped for the virtual event? Yes, innovation is dropped. There will not be any separate innovation evaluation for any category. One query is there, please provide a new rule book with the updated requirements. Yes, with the guidelines or the whatever amendments we have made in the rules, they will be published separately, but the section A and B of the rule book of each format will remain same. Only the evaluation procedure and documentation part is going to change. So whatever requirements were there on the vehicle part and the team related part, that will remain as it is. There is no change. So you can follow the same rule book which is there available on the website for your designing work and your planning work. The new documentation and evaluation procedures will be released separately in some time. One question is there, how to handle things we have to mention in our reports, but these are practical based. So there is no name of the person who has posted this query. I would request if you can share some kind of example for this for better understanding. One more query from Chaitanya is, do these points which we earn in virtual will be considered for physical event or not? No, virtual is totally separate. Whatever you will score in the virtual round, you will be given a score on the basis of that. You will be given awards according to that, and there will be final ranking for virtual event. And if the final event is there, it will be totally separate, and mostly there will be only technical inspection of physical vehicle and only the dynamic events. So as the static rounds will be completed in the virtual part only, so this will not be repeated again. One query is there, since we need to get the permission from our college regarding payment of fees, kindly mail us the details about virtual round. So surely we can do it. The announcement will be also there on the website soon. Maybe by tomorrow you will have the updated details on the official website. You can take a reference of that. And if you need any email, you can separately request that. So we can reply on that according to your query, so that you can submit this to your college authorities for necessary further procedures. No more queries I can see in the Q&A session. So I will wait for another 5 minutes. If there is any query, we will take up that. Otherwise, we will close this session. Okay, one more query is there. Mostly, what will be the releasing dates for guidelines for ADAS? By next week, I said we have a briefing on 14th June. There we will brief about all the documentation package. So latest by 14th June, you will have all the document format released for everything, including ADAS, infotainment, and advanced features. So one query from Raj is there, will there be any innovation category in the final physical event? I will not comment anything on it because we are still uncertain about the physical event. So if we do the physical event, our aim will be to have the dynamic events first of all, and for that we need the technical inspection as well. So the event will be surely be done with the reduced duration. It will not be that 5-6 day event now, because static events are already done in the virtual and only dynamics are pending. So let's see how it is formulated for physical event. Then only we will be able to comment on it. Do we have to make separate registration of for physical round, as their part of the fee is going to get refund? Yes, if the physical event is done, you need to confirm after the virtual round whether you are going to participate in that round or not. So the same team will continue, only you need to confirm it, and then there will be separate fees for physical event. It can be considered same as earlier fee submission procedure. We had phase 1 for 25,000, phase 2 for 10,000. So now we have a fees for virtual round, that is only 5,000. Maybe when the physical event is done, we will have some of the fees for that also. So any online registration will not be there. You need to just confirm whether you are going to participate in the virtual physical round or not. One question is there. One request to everyone is if you are posting your query, please submit either your team ID or team ID along with your name, so that we can address and know if any particular query is there according to related to your team ID. So person is saying that we didn't get any confirmation mail for phase one payment that we have paid before. So now we had stopped everything. We also asked not to submit your fees, but some teams have already submitted the fees, so that uh, excess amount of fees will be refunded, and the invoice according to the 5,000 rupees will be submitted to will be provided to all teams. Next query is when we expect the physical event. So I have mentioned it at least 10 times during the session that we will take any call on that during mid of October after the virtual round is completed. Then after that, most probably the dates of physical event will be either end of February to mid of March. We have to check the exam schedule also and any festival also. So somewhere by end of February and start of March, it will be done. So next question is if we provide details and complete virtual round, then if the physical round is there and if the vehicle model changes according to the few factors, will it be counted? So I don't know which few factors you are referring here, but as we are emphasizing on the detailing of CAD models and the analysis part, so we don't expect much changes in the physical model if we are going to build it. Any major changes in the frame design, like dimensions, ground clearances, your seating configuration, your drivetrain component location, or any major component locations, we will not appreciate it. So whatever analysis or assumptions you are going to take for the CAD modeling, just make sure that these are accurate and these are these are practical, these are feasible for vehicle building. So we don't see any further query here by the teams. And now let me make some important announcement regarding the rulebook sessions. So tomorrow we will have a rulebook explanation session from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. So it will be conducted tomorrow as well as on next Saturday, that is 13th June, same time 5 to 8 p.m. And then on 14th June, there will be another session for the remaining part of rulebook explanation and the documentation explanation, and we will also try to deliver a separate session on DVP and DFMEA during that time only. So all team members can attend this briefing session for rulebook because there is no limit of the participants. So all your team members, all the faculty advisors can attend. We will every day share the link of the session. So we will request all the teams that please bring all your team members together to join this session because this will give you clarity on the rulebook requirements, and some tips and tricks will be also be shared during those sessions. So do not miss this, and this is a good opportunity because anyone can join. Till the last season, we used to conduct the physical workshops, so there was a limitation for 2 to 3 members from each team, but there is no such limitation this time. And hence, once again, appeal everyone, please come and attend this session. Otherwise, it will be very much difficult for you to understand if any unresolved query is there afterward. So with this, I would like to end my talk, and once again, I would thank KIT Group of Institutions, who are the workshop partner for this workshop online series. And thank you very much, everyone, for joining this session. And if you have any query, please get connected with your team mentors or post your queries on fecycle.technical@sanis.org or connect on our all social media handles. Thank you very much. Over to Tuin sir if there is any announcement. Otherwise, we can close it.